Moving on to the next slide. So there are 5 key focus areas under this IoT ecosystem security. So the IoT market is evolving. So I will not be explaining in detail. I'm just highlighting the pointers here. The IoT ecosystem plays a vital role in securing IoT, and the security must be built in from the ground level with the customer. So we have to keep always in mind the end users, that is our customers, and look for opportunities to drive value from security and engage in industry and regulatory groups to accelerate the normalization and standardization. This is very, very important. It is playing a vital role in covering this cyber security. Next slide, please. Okay. Any questions so far?
No questions, ma'am. You can carry on.
Thank you. So till now, hope we all understand like what is the security levels and what is all about IoT ecosystem block diagram. So how does a device works in the IoT ecosystem, and what are the main targets and threats of this cyber attacks, and why exactly we have to look for this cyber security, and how do we protect this IoT ecosystem. So till now we understood all these points. So now moving on. So the growing threat of cyber attacks. So this is changing from assets to control system. What does it mean? So earlier hackers were attacking only the data information. So they were exploiting the data from the system. They were damaging the data information. So now it has moved to the control systems. That means they are damaging the systems directly. So with the evolution of IoT, control systems built on standalone networks are becoming targets of cyber attacks. So attackers are aiming to generate physical impacts as operation stops and system destruction and causing additional damages. So the security management is shifting from protection information assets to protecting the control systems. So that means now we have to look on how can we protect the devices, the control systems, not only the information data. So that is the point here. So now the main challenges and threats are lack of standards, awareness trainings, and outdated legacy security, lack of encryption, irregular updates, and unreliable threat detection. So these are the main reasons for having cyber attacks. If you see the block diagram, this is clearly showing that how earlier the data information were hacked. For example, the file server, the operating systems. So now moving on to the next level, that is damaging the control systems. So these are some of the examples of the devices. For example, the router, the CC camera, pen drive, the multiple users on the same system, the battery, the HMI, that is human machine interface, timer, and giving admin access to the settings. So these are all examples where the hackers can attack and destroy the control systems. Next slide. Okay, this is another example where you can see the user case, like cyber attack cases on industrial automation and control system. So this is one of the major attack of cyber. So 2010 Stuxnet, it is a kind of computer worm. So about 1,000 of 9,000 centrifuge at the Iranian nuclear facilities were destroyed. So first, the malware intruded into the centrifuge control systems. So they mainly damaged the control system. So the control frequencies changed to damage the machine directly. So if you see the block diagram, this is showing how exactly this has happened. So actually it was infected the admin PCs via media. So media is the main culprit here, where they could infect the system directly, and the infected has gone to the controllers and via network, and the command has been sent to fluctuate the frequencies at a very shorter period, which has damaged the centrifuge system machine directly. So this is a major attack, which is one of the best example of the cyber attack. So threat of sophisticated malware, this is targeting the vulnerability of Windows shortcut files and elaborately prepared by multiple engineers. So these are all like the kind of weakness of the system where the hackers can easily attack and hack the system, and aware of the system structure, attackers narrow target specific machines, and they deactivate monitoring of the infected devices. Although a system has been infected, it is stopping monitoring of these kind of infected machines so that we are not able to get to know the computer worm attacks or the cyber attacks. So this is forcing the malfunction. So not only the operation of the maintenance, the security for devices and control systems are also important. So I'm emphasizing more on this because we are not only talking about the information data security, we are also talking about the system control system security. So this is all coming under the cyber security. Hope till now you are clear. Are any questions? So we understood. So what is all about IoT ecosystem? So what are all the user interfaces, the devices, the networks, and how exactly the ecosystem works? An ecosystem is actually between the IoT, in between IoT developer and the end user. So we understand the complete block diagram of the IoT ecosystem and the security part. So what are the main threat targets? Targets, we know that we understood, like the devices, what kind of devices, what are the reasons of these targets and threats, and when exactly happens, it is not only for the information data, and it is also for the control systems. So now keeping in mind the securing our IoT ecosystem on both the sides, like information data and the control systems. Now we are moving on to the standards. So earlier I mentioned that there were some lack of standards which caused this cyber attacks, then awareness and trainings, then lack of security follow-up, and lack of protection and lack of monitoring. So lack of detection. So these are all main reasons where we are failing and getting cyber attacks. So now, how do we come over of these issues? So are there any standards? Are there any checklists where we can control our system and follow some security policies so that we can avoid these kind of cyber attacks? So there is one such security policy. So where I'm talking about IEC 62443. So this is a standard. So this is mainly for attracting attention as an integrated security standard. So the main expectations of this IEC 62443 in Europe and US are there. It has been developed as a general purpose standard, and that integrates factory automation security standards of different business entities. So the ANSI, we know that American National Standard Integration, US and IEC established ISA Unified Security Standards. So these are all specific standards from the respective countries. So the expectation of IEC 62443 from building automation industry. This is not only for the factory automation, this is also for the building automation industry. So mainly from building automation control systems, suppliers' efforts to underway apply IEC 62443 to building automates. So this block diagram is talking about what are the types of standard targets and what are the general purposes and what are the designated systems. So there are different levels of different kinds of standards based on the different designated systems. So it's very clear from the block diagram that standard targets are operator, system, and component. And if you can map it to that, the general purpose for operator is the CSMS, and for the system it is SSA, and for the component it is EDSA. Maybe at this point in time you may not understand all these standards. So this is
Excuse me, ma'am.
Request others to go on mute, please.
Vinay Raj, please mute. Mr. Vinay Raj.
If somebody has question, please.
I'm keep muting you and you are just enabling it. Please mute Vinay Raj. Mr. Vinay Raj.
Can drop him.
Okay, ma'am, you can continue.
No problem. So the block diagram is talking about the different kinds of standard targets and what kind of purpose and the designated systems. So the plant and petroleum chemical, it is WIB, and for power energy, it is NERC. So the standards used is IEC 61850. And for the smart grid, it is NIST. So these are all different kinds of standards. And for the railway, it is ISO. So later down the line, once it is coming to the actual product launch, so we have to ensure that these standards are applicable standards are followed and implemented. So these are deployed at designated levels. So at this point in time, this is to give a fair idea about what is IEC 62443 all about, and why do we use, and what are the different kinds of standards at different designated levels. So the conclusion is that IEC 62443 standards are applicable for BCCs, that is building control systems, and BCS cybersecurity standards and guidelines are development, other entities, and no product specific cybersecurity standards. And IEC 62443 standards are do not duplicate any BCS industry and cybersecurity standards, and no BCS security certification scheme exists that would duplicate the ISC secure certification scheme for BCS. So this is the complete block diagram. There are different level of standards. If you take IEC 62443, it has different layers: level 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. And the targets are like factory automation owner, then SIIR, supplier, and the base standards are CSMS, SSA, EDSA, and the management layers are like overall concept coming under layer 1, operation maintenance coming under layer 2, and the system is coming under layer 3, and the components like Wi-Fi, HMI, battery, timers, they are all coming under layer 4. So what I mean to say that these particular standards to be deployed and implemented at these management layers, so that before launching any products. Any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Can you just give us some more illustration about the standards, ma'am?
What kind of illustration?
Like how it will be in security assessment, or how it will be used in a threat and risk assessment? How it will be like?
You would like to map it to the product directly, is it?
Some, yeah, if possible over there, or just like idea where all the things can be open for the research or operations.
Yeah, Suresh here. So just to give a validation, for example, 62443-1 is basically on the management. So now we majorly talked about today about the end components. So we are majorly targeting for all your gateways, HMIs and nodes and the timers, which just now we explained. So this particular standards will be implemented on IEC 62443-4-2, like where the security function and the certification process has been implemented and deployed on the device. So there, the research side, this is a very new. There is no products has been certified still under 4-2. So we'll be even on the research part. If we can focus on the security function and certifications, or for this 62443-4 have a lot of opportunities. On the IoT part, all this operation system overall concepts already covered, and now on the component level, it has not been done. So there are a lot of scope to improve upon on this on the device, like which we talked on the IoT endpoint and gateways, has to be covered and certified for this standard, like IEC 62443-4-2 for security function and certification.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So at this point in time, we are just explaining that layer 4 is applicable for so and so devices, components, and the management layers. So we are not getting in depth of what is exactly inside that layer 4. So that is during the implementation part of the product launching. So at this point of this session, so we are just giving the brief of what is applicable and what kind of layer for what at which designated level. Yeah, moving on to the next slide. Hope this answered your question.
Okay, ma'am. Let's continue, madam. We'll.
Yeah, thank you. So the target applications for this IEC 62443 layer 2, like target devices, process target applications are HMI and PLC. So if you see the right side block diagram, like network devices, L2 switch, VPN connectivity, and host devices for general purpose devices like Windows, Linux, integrated control panel, workstation, and logging server. And the embedded devices like programming PLC, programming logic controller, intelligent electronic device, and the control function with HMI and DCS. So these are all coming under the layer 2. Yeah. Move on to the next slide. Yeah, I'll just summarize here. So what exactly we understood about the complete IoT ecosystem, the security part. So we have to know that device testing to find the vulnerability, the loopholes, etc. That is very, very important. So if we are not doing enough testing, if testing coverage is not enough, then your product is failed in the market. So we are reaching the failure mode. So the second pointer is on the network and the gateway penetration testing. This is again a very, very important point because network is a kind of target for the cyber hackers. So this is one of the main target. It is easy for the hackers to hack the system or the control system through network and damage the system. So the second part is also a very key pointer to be taken care during the cyber security. And the cloud also we discussed earlier, like how the entire block diagram, how the applications are connected to the cloud and to the gateway and to the end IoT objects. So we know that. So using this interface system, the cloud and the API penetration, that testing is also important. So when I'm launching a product, it can be any product. For example, your mobile. When I'm launching a product in the market, the complete end-to-end testing is to be done. So unless and until we complete 100% of testing coverage, then the product cannot be launched in the system. So once we say that the testing is completed, then we have to undergo this, what I explained earlier, that IEC 62443 standards. So in the standards, what are we doing? We are checking each one of these aspects, whether the product has undergone all these kinds of testing, whether all standards are followed, whether all security aspects taken care for this product. So they will check all these standards as part of IEC 62443. Then only they will approve the product to be launched in the market. So once it is certified, then we can say it is a quality product. It can be released and launched in the market. So then only we can get the customer trust. So otherwise we are losing customer trust. So as I mentioned earlier, so we have to think of the people, process, and the technology, and also we have to think of the end users, that is our customers. So the trust is very important here. To achieve that, we have to follow the standards to deploy this cyber security and to completely avoid this cyber hacking. So the next point is on the data storage security. So data privacy is very, very important. It can be the server data, it can be the personal data, it can be the production data. So the data storage security. So each one of the pointers may be at higher level. So when we are doing the certification part, that we will get into depth of many layers of these pointers so that the standards are followed at all these pointers. So application penetration testing and counters measures for IoT. So what are the measures? How can we ensure that these are measured and controlled and security is taken care? The security booting, authentication, user IDs and passwords, the secure communication. So using a proper authenticated email IDs, and security monitoring, the regular monitoring of the security monitoring at the system level, device level happens, and the regular patch updates, maybe the antivirus updates at the stipulated frequencies. It can be the regular updates to be done on the devices. So access management, it can be physical and logical reconciliation, the personal data handling, then device management, establish governance and accountability, and deploy security checklists, and security audits also conducted to ensure that all these are followed as part of your product launching. So that finally, it is once we are ready with all this part, this security audit is internal audit and it can be external audit. So once we ensure that all these are done and it is completed and completely deployed and implemented, then we go for certification. So moving on to the next slide. Hope this slide is clear. Any questions on this slide?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'm just giving a few certification bodies details. Moving on to the next slide. So these are like CSSE and EXIDA, TUV. So this is, I'm not getting in depth of this because it's just only the certification bodies. So it's, we are, you can go through any one of these certifying body to get the product certified. So these are the details. Yeah, that's it from my side. So I just want to know if any questions. Preetham, you would like to add anything?
Not much from my end, madam.
Okay.
Madam, do we have any tools to locally locally check or locally test the IoT preparations what we have done from our side?
Yeah, we call it as checklist, not exactly the tools. We call it as a checklist kind of thing. So where we identify all the process areas and all the parameters with respect to that particular product before launching in the market. So after identifying all these parameters, so we follow the checklist provided as part of IEC 62443. Then once we certify internally, not from the external body, internally we have to certify ourselves is my product is 100% compliant with respect to all this checklist. Then only we conduct kind of assessment that is called security audit. So if we are passing through that security audit, then we go for the external certification by the certifying bodies. So this is a huge process, and at this point in time, I may not be covering each one of the pointers here because I mean, it's at the product level. So here we are there to understand. So why do we need this? So what is all about cyber security and why do we need this security? And as part of security, what has to be followed? What is the standards and what are the certifying bodies? So yeah, as you mentioned, there is a checklist.
Checklist has to be done manually, or do
No, it
we
is
have any
standard
software?
provided as part of the certifying body. So for example, the companies, they create their own checklist to be in line with the certifying bodies. Even
No,
for
because
example,
we are from the educationals, this one. So I
right.
have created one IoT with Arduino Uno, and the work I have carried out is pulse rate observation monitoring. So how can I work with this standard on that?
So you need to ask Adreno whoever supplied to give the IEC 62443 compliance documentations, and
But that is a open source. They just sell that product.
then you need to use the devices which they give the IEC 62443 these two compliance devices for if you want to comply and certify. If you are doing for simply for
The
without
experiments and research purpose.
then I think not required. And if you want to seriously
unless you're launching this product in the market,
then only you need to go for the standards. But I mean, nowadays I've seen IIT Kharagpur, all IITs are working on the defined standards, because they work closely with the industries and make sure that their product is compliant to all the standards.
even ISO 21K, I think.
Okay, so you mean to say that Arduino, Raspberry Pi, whatever the Beagle boards, whatever we are using, so we have to ask the compliance of certification, or what actually I'm interested is, as a standard, is there any such tools which can be applied on our
There is
operation?
no tool. There is no tool. Basically, how it works is, even for this gateways, we taken the device from the manufacturers, or the manufacturers who give all the documentations and the complete flow. There is a recommended IoT device authentication flow that has to be followed. That documentations, everything come from the device manufacturers. So they will be supplying. For example, in Arduino, there is a TI, there is ST, there is a Renesas. So they need to provide you, for the developers. And as part of Renesas, yes, we are supplying all the documentations and pre-compliance certifications, process and all those things. It has been supplied by the semiconductor vendors. And based on that, you need to start complying and prepare the documentation for the certifications.
Okay, so here we don't have something like using this IEC 62443 toolbox, through which actually I'm going to apply the security, extra cyber security on my experiment, and
No, it will not work like that. Basically,
it's
there
not
is
going to work like that.
because there is a, if you go through even STQC has launched the documentation how the process has to do. Like, for example, how the security boot has to happen, authentication, secure communication, all these. They already have the documentations. So you can go through STQC website. They already launched.
Okay. Okay.
So to add to this one, right? So when you say security and when we are talking about these standards, these are not just some software patches or hardware changes. It is about what are the minimal information that needs to be complied when preparing the whole device itself, and as well as it would include what kind of hardware wise, what kind of minimal things that you have to maintain, and also from the software wise, what kind of minimal things that you need to work on, and what kind of software practices that you are not supposed to use, and all these things are part of this standards. So if you want to take an Arduino and go ahead with that, so then probably first thing that you will have to do is you will have to go and get the all documentation regarding that standard, go through that whole standard process and find out for your device what is applicable inside that, get that one, or get a consultant for that one to get it done for you. And using that one, they would then get a process defined for your device and check whether your boards and everything are complying to that one. If not, how you can get that complied to your requirement and everything, you have to go through that. So this is the full process through which you have to go. Or the other way, as Suresh sir said, you take chips and everything which are already in line with the compliances. Take that one, make use of the boards which are also in line with that one, and expedite your whole development process itself to go to certify and say that one, that whatever you are working on is so and so specific security version complied.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
thanks, Pritham. So this, just for your information, if you, you know about STQC is an Indian who is developing the standards for IoT. So this is one of the authentication flow they recommend. So this is not like any tool or something. It has to be on the implementation level. So for example, same thing. If you go, they already define what device, what class. For example, doorbell, smart band, smart headphone, speakers. There is a class 0. That means a very basic security objective for class 0. If you increase your for a LED bulb, smart switches, fans, it comes under class 1. Class 1 is all or medium on the integrity and availability. And class 2 for IoT cameras, traffic lights and all, it is I for availability. This kind of security objectives has been defined already from the agencies, certifying agencies. And for example, if you go to a class 4, where healthcare device, Wi-Fi, relay box in hospital, like this is like a sense gateways and all. So then we have a very high checklist, or we need to follow the security objective even in terms of integrity, availability, and the confidentiality. So this is the way already defined from the government of India. This is the one of the we already working on this.
Suresh sir, can you just give that STPC?
STQC.
STQC. Okay, okay.
You can type STQC. They already have the IoT standards available.
Yeah, we have that one. Actually, what I have believed is up to now, I have not. I felt that security has to be done separately.
No. It is part of the code, your code actually.
Yeah, because right now, from this standard, I understood that the security has to be built from the beginning itself.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah.
From the scratch. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. Thank you.
Thanks for asking question. I didn't get the name.
It's Balchandra from Hubli.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Thank you.
So if you are implementing something, you let us know. Maybe then we can discuss.
Yeah, because all this class, we are started with class 0. Class 1 is also done in the lab. We are thinking of class 4. I was just worried of how to include the security. So I have to go through these standards. I'll just.
Yeah, it is a framework actually.
Yeah.
From the coding level. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Any more questions? So we can, I mean, it can be now generic discussion. Maybe we maybe 5 minutes. Maybe I mean, whatever the session from the morning we conducted, we are open. We all three are here, so we can have a Q&A session and then we can conclude. Anil.
Suresh sir, you said about the framework.
That
framework is ready now in the blockchain?
Oh, yes, already from the part of Renesas, because I'm from the Renesas, we already have IEC 62443-2 compliance on gateways. Now Pritham and team is checking that.
Okay. And is there any link and other support, like I can go through that standards and
Sure. You can go to Google and type Renesas cybersecurity. You will get a lot of details.
Okay.
It's an open forum.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now we already finished secure communication and secure boot and secure storage testing. So that lot the TLS 2.0 implementation on the security part we already completed. Correct, Pritham?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Yep. So now, I think maybe soon we will be going for certification from in India through STQC, and maybe later part we will be going for other parts of the world. Yeah. I'm not sure you will get this documentations openly. I'm not sure. I need to check because since we are the members, we got this. You can try in STQC website whether you got it. So Anil, now we are open for session. Q&A. So we will give some 5 minutes and then you can conclude.
Sir, do we have the one more session, or else we are done with the sessions?
Yeah, all 3 sessions we have done.
Oh, okay, sir. Participants, if you have any question, you can put forward. So otherwise, we can take the next part of it, the test part. We are going to move on.
Yes, sir. Test part.
Okay, sir. Suresh sir and his team, thank you very much for your wonderful, resourceful presentation. In fact, the IoT applications, the whole ecosystem and the various application in which the IoT concept is used. So those things are very much helpful for our audience. So thank you very much for your time and as well as the resourceful presentation, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Participants, now I'm going to paste the test link in the chat window and as well as the attendance link. So please, you have a time. Now it is 2:43. Up to 3 o'clock, you have time. Within that, you have to take the test and complete the attendance process. Okay, thank you.
So we can log out, Anil, or we need to be there?
And no need, sir. You can log out.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity, Anil. And I don't know whether Dr. Suresh is here.
Suresh sir is not there in the
No,
call.
no, no. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the audience. I mean, especially the different domain scholars and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Very nice session, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. madam.
Thank you.
We are logging out, Anil.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anil.